right now. Belmont Shore takes down the first one. Belmont Shore held up right now by number 7, Stefan Terblanche, but they get the ball to the ground eventually. Atticus Michaels gets it out to one of the big fellas. They start rumbling forward. Jacob Finau takes it in. Michaels again. Joseph O'Brien. Early standard here. These teams want to set some physicality. Finau. Second carry in the first minute. Michaels looking for some runners out back. They're going to go to the air with this, and they're going to hang it up over. Good back three for both of these teams. Be tough. Feeks played a lot of MLR rugby. Right there is Skuman. Skuman, very rangy runners. Played a lot of 7. Started off as a second row in college. Hammerschmidt takes out, and the only change on this team. And here's Felton. Find some runners. They're inside their 22. Minute gone in this contest as they move it to that left-hand side. Looking for a little room. Not going to find it there is Greg Robertson. Scottish-born player for this St. Louis team. Right about at the 15. They're working their way just across field. Stout defense coming in from Belmont Shore at the moment. Ball back from Felton. Feeks is going to go to that left boot. So trustworthy, but does not get a ton of room on it. So we're going to have a first line of the game here to Belmont Shore. Good result here for Belmont Shore, Wendy. Great attacking position for their team.
Yeah, and we got to go all the way back in our minds to that huge kick. That's what set them up to this line out, and then they pinned the Bombers down there. And this is a huge territorial gain.
Bruce Young gets the ball to the middle lineup, quickly down into the hands of Wishadell. Quick from Young. Again, Bruce Young takes it forward. Looking for some runners. Michaels gets it out there. Ball's a little low. Slips. We have an advantage here for St. Louis. Nothing to be gained. We're going to come to a first scrum of the game for the St. Louis Bombers just outside their 22.
Great job absorbing that pressure. The Bombers getting that knock on, just coming up as a unit together and causing that little miscue. And the pass was low, but that pressure coming from them.
Scrum to come here for St. Louis. See how this first one goes. Both these teams have some big fellas in there. Would love to set the tone, get a little pressure on. Here's Felton, Port Elizabeth, South Africa. One of the many Lindenwood alum on this team, and they're getting a good squeeze on here, and penalty awarded. Khalil Harrison has had enough, and first dominant scrum goes to St. Louis. Will that come to play later in the game?
And Marnus Spannenberg back at that 8, keeping that ball in as his full pack, driving that forward. Really good effort from him. And as you mentioned, an international roster here, Marnus from Perth, Western Australia.
A number of players moved to the U.S., playing with his Bombers squad. Very proud, have marched their way through a lot of great games. 1915 was a tight semifinal, but in the Northern Super Regional, they beat the Park City Haggis 76-5. So big wins there. A bit tighter in the Midwest. They beat the Griffins 22-19 in the semifinals, and Cincinnati in the Midwest Finals 34-28. Ball to come in from Caleb O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue goes up. Finds Brandon Chalker. Felton, Feeks have a running pod here with a D'Antoine McMillan. McMillan makes a little bit of ground. They come back the other way, trying for a little wraparound here, looking for the trick play for Skuman. Skuman gets a hard hit right to the chops there. That can't feel good. There is a quick whistle here from Khalil Harrison, and we will stop and see what happened. Medical staff gonna have to come on the field. Skuman, slow to get up.
That was what they call a slobbery one. Definitely going to want to have a chat with his AR. I think Khalil is going to head over to Will Nelson. One looking like it was possibly high.
From where we're sitting right here, it certainly looked. Let's listen.
Looking like they're having some technical difficulties. We'll just have to mime the game.
Hopefully Skuman is all right. I've been lucky enough to spend a bit of time with him. He's a wonderful fella. I'd hate to see him have to come out of a game this early. Tough competitor. He's up and moving now.
Ben, 18.
Here's the replay on it. It's really this big play here, and oh, the shoulder.
Started, hold on. Started chest and went up as mitigation for head danger, so it won't be a yellow card. Okay?
And it will be a yellow card. Well, there might have been a decision there. It was a tough one.
It was
right up
hard,
and around
but it
the
hit
head
low
and
and
neck area. But Finau is going to spend 10 minutes on the bench. He's had a couple of good runs so far in this game. So a one-player advantage. We have to bring in a replacement forward. St. Louis going to go to touch instead and try their luck out wide here. Just outside the 22, about 30 meters out. Great attacking line and opportunity here for the St. Louis Bombers team, Wendy.
You in front? Here's your,
Good to see the player that received the hit there is okay, but player safety paramount for these referees, and they're just lucky to have a bit of mitigation because that was definitely to the head.
Did not look like a lot of fun. Spannenberg, the captain, has to reach across, but he hasn't. Starting a maul here. Finau would have added some big pressure for Belmont Shore, so this might be a good option. You can see the power starting to go forward. Here come the Bombers. The Bombers going forward at a pretty quick rate here. Onto the ground, they have an advantage. Khalil Harrison has spotted something in there, possibly taking that down. They have some runners. Davidson looking forward, but Harrison is going to come back. Number 6 there, he said Joseph O'Brien, going to be another penalty for St. Louis. St. Louis, just playing really smart, Wendy, to draw these penalties right now.
Definitely really good. Started from that line out. They went 25, 30 meters, and then just keeping it in there, and that builds so much pressure. Belmont Shore will do anything to get that maul down, including illegally taking it down. Well spotted by Harrison, but now we've seen the danger. Are they going to do it again?
See big Corey Harmon at the front. Up to Spannenberg in the middle. Players on the ground. Is it another advantage? The big drive forward. On the line they are. Held up as well. Belmont Shore nearly scored on. Great last minute effort there. It's going to be a goal line drop for Belmont Shore.
And they changed tactics slightly there. They did go with an initial drive, but then tried to peel it off the back to really just make it difficult to defend. But Belmont Shore hugging that ball, as we say, just get that ball on your chest and go to deck with it. They'll never be able to touch it down, so good defense.
Yeah, it changes that tackle dynamic around the try line very often. I believe it was Blanche trying to take that one. Here you see Sean Nolan about to kick this one out. Sean Nolan puts one long. Nolan for the back base Sharks, and Mira Costa now playing at Belmont Shore. A long hanging pass out there, not going to catch somebody running. But Preston Hammerschmidt going to take this in. Felton calling players a little closer. Carradine answers the call. Player in and over there in Gerald Lowe. Gerald Lowe to turn that one over, and does. Belmont Shore shorthanded. Great opportunity to take that ball away. The poach is going to be their penalty right outside their 40-meter line.
And Lowe out of Kutztown University now with Belmont, of course. What a fantastic poach. You'll see it here. The initial hit, the release, and then right on it. Such good work by him, and even showing the referee a lift. That's key now. The referees want to see that kind of the action of that ball being picked up, so you definitely have possession of it.
And referee Harrison, a very talented referee right on the spot there. Look at Michaels. To D'Antoine McMillan. McMillan, a St. Louis native. Another Lindenwood grad. Ball to the front. Disrupted from St. Louis. No knock on, so it's Belmont ball right here. Ball coming out from Michaels. Michaels again. There's a three-man pod waiting for him. Forward, just going to take that one in. Try to create a little space here. Michaels, a little run, little pass back in. Nolan winds up with it. Michaels keeping this team moving quick. Nice little break there. Micah Griffin can't quite find the room they'd wanted there, but a half gap. He gets through, gets the ball up into the hands of Callum Bartlett. Callum Bartlett driving forward, has some support. Michaels. Runners coming in, they put this one out the back, looking to split this defense. That was Matthew Massoe, but he is hauled down, and a penalty Player not holding their own weight there. So Belmont Shore, after a good bit of pressure there, will have the penalty.
We're starting to see Belmont, their intention of how they want to play in this game. Quick ball. They're going to use those pods to try to suck in as many bombers as they can and then release those powerful backs. You see a bit of it here. There's some of the back play that's happening, that blocker pass where you've got a forward in front and then the inside center, Masoi, coming through on a hard line. Then the Bombers trying to counter-ruck that and can't stay on their feet. Gives Belmont Shore first chance at points.
Yeah, Belmont Shore holds up a try, comes right downfield, draws a penalty. This Davenport University grad set to try to put points on the board for Belmont Shore. Nolan. Nolan steps up, has the distance. Assistant referees raise the flag. 3-0 in this D1 championship game. First point to Belmont Shore. After some good play from the St. Louis Bombers, we look like we're going to have an exciting contest on our hands.
I do agree with you there, John. I think this one, we've seen the Bombers were just down on the other end of the pitch with a beautiful maul. They're very dangerous at the set piece, but really smart there by Belmont to take those points. We know they're not going to be on offer very often.
Callum Bartlett takes that one down. They're just outside their 22. Go to the run right here. Big Corey Harmon trying to take that ball away for the Bombers, but able to recycle it. Michaels gets it back to Nolan. Nolan has pressure on him. Ball goes a bit higher than he probably would have liked, but still getting very good distance here. Feeks off to the right-hand side. Gets that ball to Robertson. Robertson into contact across the 50-meter line. The runners coming across. Skuman wearing the number 15 jersey there. Seems to be up and okay from that injury. Still short-handed are Belmont Shore. Here come the Bombers. Just one too many there from Darnell Boone. Referee's going to penalize. It's going to be St. Louis inside the half of Belmont Shore with an opportunity. Looks like they're going to push this downfield and go for the lineout.
Tackler not releasing there, so again, Belmont's trying to go for that poach, but got to show some space to the referee so they can see that you've released the tackle, the ball carrier, and then go for it again. You don't get 2 bites without releasing. You can see it here. It's good work. The pod is ready for the Bombers, and here comes the poach attempt, but you can see no daylight there, and he's off his feet to boot. So a good attempt. It's the right idea, just have to be a bit technically better.
2 good line-out mauls, one with somebody breaking off the back and nearly scoring for this St. Louis team. Let's see what they go to this time. They're at the tail, the weaker side there. Belmont Shore is trying to sack that one. It comes apart. Here come the Bombers. Can Belmont Shore rip this away? Ball's a bit loose on the ground. Digging their way in. Chalker may have been the one that came down with that. And they're going to maintain this one. That's Caleb O'Donohue. O'Donohue across the 22. Felton looking for a runner. Going to go to the right. Sends in Terblanche. Terblanche. Put on his back, not losing much ground. Little ball to the outside. There's room now for Jabari Leopold. He slips it back into Chalker. The ball is still alive here. Player just a bit isolated, but support arrives. And another penalty against Belmont, a sharp blast of the whistle. They have another conversation here. We will listen in to referee Khalil Harrison.
Ball back, now we have number 11. Be very careful down here. Okay?
Yeah. What's the call?
Yeah.
Very gently, Wendy tells them to be very careful. Nice messaging from the referee there, but a penalty for St. Louis.
Short and sweet as Mr. Harrison is. He is sweet himself. He is not short. I don't mean that, but he gets to the point, and I agree with you. Very gentle with his words there. I think that's almost more impactful.
Yeah, I just like his calming tone. It's very, it's a good message to the players there as we have the penalty. Let's see what the call is going to be. They call for a scrum here. They would have to bring in a different player with Belmont Shore.
And they are, I can see from the booth here, they're bringing in number 3, Adam Sanchez.
Okay, you want to say? Okay.
Sanchez was a Belmont Shore U18 player. He's also represented the USA in baseball. An all-around athlete is Sanchez. This means one backline player is most likely out of the game. St. Louis. Another look at Schumann. Felton to put this one in. They pulled a penalty on their first run with a huge drive. Carradine and Harmon, big fellas in the front row. They get another advantage here, but the ball slips out. Gets it up into the hands of Davidson. They're looking towards the line with Robertson. Can they move this ball out? Feeks gets a bouncing ball, puts a little kick pass in. It is wide open on the outside. A beautiful first try for St. Louis to Preston Hammerschmidt off an awkward ball and a tremendous peace of mind kick from Nick Feeks.
Absolutely beautiful there by the Bombers. Feeks, the orchestrator there. The kick, just absolute placement. When we see this replay from Hammerschmidt touching it down, the placement is key where Meeks put it. It's a little bit messy here from the base, but they make it work. Look at the effort from the scrum half, and Meeks knows what he wants to do, puts it on the side of his boot, and just absolutely beautiful by Hammerschmidt. Pressure coming. He's able to get it into his hands and no problem there. Look, one more look at this. Oh, it's just beautiful. The vertical, the touchdown. The cover defense tried their best there, Belmont, but beautiful, beautiful work there by the Bombers.
Yeah, great communication across the board there. Preston Hammerschmidt, a high school social studies teacher from Winfield, Illinois, a Linwood product. Any of the students are watching, please congratulate your teacher tomorrow. Scored a wonderful first try here in Austin. Kick is no good, so we're at 5-3, 2 points in it. To play for right here off this restart for Belmont as we take another look.
Stop it.
Yeah, and again, key there, Richard Felton, the scrum half, just his ability to get it out there, but then Feeks, oh, it's just beautiful. And look, you know, it doesn't hurt that Preston is 6'5". It doesn't hurt that he's got that length, but just the ball and hand coordination, ball-eye-hand coordination, key there, going up for it, and then knowing that the pressure is coming to get him and touching it down without a problem. Just gorgeous.
High hanging kick down to the 22, recovered there. Well done by Feeks. Feeks having a little wander through the Belmont Shore trees. Find some forwards inside the 22. Playing with confidence at the moment are the St. Louis Bombers. Big pressure coming in from Belmont Shore. St. Louis able to move that one out. That's Corey Harmon. Big man with soft hands. He can be a critical part of this offense. Felton's going to go to the boot. Box kick is up. May not have gotten what he wanted exactly. Finds touch. Line on the 40-meter line for Belmont Shore.
And we're starting to hear, you can hear the wind on Harrison's microphone a little bit. There is quite a breeze down there. The flag's moving. And so Bombers have the wind in their face, and that may be where they're not getting quite the clearance, where on the other end, we're seeing massive, massive kicks from Nolan that he's getting. He's a good kicker, but he's getting an extra 10 to 20 meters on every kick. So we want to see where that might factor in for these teams. As you can see that AR flag just waving in the wind.
Look at the try scorer, Hammerschmidt. Ball to the tail, bounces over into the hands of St. Louis. Take this one forward is Terblanche. Felton. Have that left boot. They're going to go to that corner over the head of Munoz. Munoz letting this ball roll. Takes it just outside the try line. Gets it to Nolan. Nolan is going to return it. Nolan, what a kick there. He has got quite a boot, this young man. Moves it downfield, but just inside the 50. It's going to be another line out for St. Louis.
And if you didn't watch the men's D3 division championship from this morning, an absolute clinic on kicking from the Austin Blacks, and we're seeing the same here from Belmont. Very precise kicking, getting as much distance as they can, and this makes the Bombers just lose territory. It makes Belmont gains 30, 40, 50 meters with these kicks, and they're going to want it.
Ball coming in from O'Donoghue. South African-born player. Front row for this team. Get the ball to Antoine McMillan. He gets taken down. Felton. Feeks. Looking a little wider. Gets the ball to Hammerschmidt. He had Munoz coming on, so can't do too much with it. Comes back. Felton. Another one of the big boys, Adam Weaver. This is his first big run, but he always makes some ground. He's at the 50-meter line. Ball bounces off some feet there. Referee sees it, says it's good, so Belmont Shore turns this one over. Opportunity for them. Players calling for a box kick, but they're going to keep this one in hand. Go to Gerald Lowe. Michaels, Nolan. Looking to the corner. Can he get the 50-22? It skates across, but he was out in front. So it's going to be a ball here for the St. Louis Bombers just inside their 22. Again, Wendy, that kicking game, as you said, keeping this St. Louis Bombers team down in their own end. If they want to score, they have to go 60.
Yeah, and we'll see the kick again. They're bring it back across the line, so that's why it's not a 50-22, but it's beautifully drilled. Look at the bounce. It's just on the other side of the flag. The precision there again. I wouldn't want to play darts with this man.
I certainly would not. Donahue. Lineout has been stable for this St. Louis team. Gonna go to the front, keep it simple. Spannenberg calls his own number. He's trying to come in over that, but it looks pretty safe there. Felton off that left boot. Finds touchdown field. Now it will be the Belmont Shore opportunity for a lineout.
And even with the wind in their face, it's a pretty good clearance, getting them a bit of distance. But like you said, now Belmont Shore, big opportunity for them here.
Middle of the line out they go. They're working on a maul of their own. It's been taken out by St. Louis, but referee Harrison says legally. So Michaels, Nolan puts a little chip in there. Did he put too much on it? Feeks. Watching this one roll, watching it roll out the back. Blair tries to just push him onto a little bit there, but Feeks, good presence of mind to let that go, so it's going to come all the way back out.
A lot of patience there. I might have panicked and fell on it, kind of thing. But this means that we come all the way back up to that 22-meter line as opposed to just a 22 drop.
You want to
have a scrum here.
4 meters. I got you. That's about every way.
There's a word to the front rows, wants to stay steady and stable. As we know, there's always honesty and no gamesmanship up in the front row. I'm sure they're going to heed his words kindly as the ball is going to come in from Felton.
On you, go ahead, Black.
Munoz controlling the back for Belmont Shore. That one goes down. Referee's just going to bring it back up and reset.
Get the ball in. Here's your mark. Sorry?
You see Finau back in the game for Belmont Shore in his number 18 jersey.
Like we've been talking about, those kicks have just been critical for Belmont. You've seen Bombers have had ball time, possession, but are always working out of their own 22. It just makes it so difficult.
Feek's a good strategic kicker as well. I would imagine as the game goes on, you're going to see a bit of a territory duel between the two of them. Here are the Bombers trying to draw another penalty. This is one way to get out of your end, but the ball slips out. So referee says we're going to have to play from here. It's Chris Skuman. Skuman shows the ball, has to hang on to it. Skuman inside the 22 to the ground, but ball ripped out of his hand there. That's Callum Bartlett. Callum Bartlett has it. Can Belmont pounce? Is this the opportunity? Fractured defense. There's some space out wide if they can get it there. This is a kick pass now from Nolan, but it does not get to Derek Adams the way he would like to. Derek Adams spinning. Munoz over that one. Coming back there into the hands of Wieshadel. Michaels. Finds Low. Low puts a little pass back in. The big hit from Corey Harmon. Trying to regather some structure here, it seems. Here's Finau. As Bruce Young latched onto him. Off to the left-hand side they go again. Just trying to dig some little momentum out. Yeah. Working their way methodically towards the line. When will they release a back line? Finau. Smothered by Bombers. Low. Gets in, tries to slip through, nearly gets by. Gathered a little momentum here is this Belmont Shore team. These little darts as they head towards the line. See it in the background there, the flag. Belmont content. Will it come to something, or are they rolling the rock up the hill here with these pick and goes? Referee says that's fine. They continue to play here, driving forward at the line. Ball out, looking wider this time. Are they gonna get in? A little high tackle there. Referee, all time. This is AR, I would suppose.
I was okay. We'll wait. We're at the 5. Sorry?
And the ball hit the referee, so it's going to come back to the scrum here to Belmont Shore. Good momentum. Sometimes that you just can't help that.
They're attacking 5-meter scrum.
Here we're 15 phases in, so they finally release to the backs and give it to Massoy. He's got a great run, but you can see the referee throws a great pick, so he can't get across there to defend that. So well done by Harrison to just take it on the chin and say, I'm in a bad position. But we know Belmont can control the ball. They just did it for 15, 16 phases there. And nothing too lost for them. They're going to get the scrum here and another chance.
They're big fellas inside there just maintaining possession. See what St. Louis does. They've drawn a couple of scrum penalties here. They have some power. Trying to drive this one. Penalty against them this time. Calls Carradine for driving in and up. Carradine gets a little shove for his troubles. Nolan has ball in hand. Down by 2 points. Do they go for posts here?
Big decision. Looking like, yeah, I think we go with the very, very trusty boot of Sean Nolan. 23 years of age and just taking on that number 10 position. No worries from him. Laguna Beach, California, out of Davenport University. Just a shy 18 years that he's played, so experience on his side.
Certainly is. Belmont, such runners out wide, Wendy. It's interesting to see them just change tactic on the fly there and go to that pick and go game and just put some of the power in. Very intelligent change of strategy right in the middle of the middle of a play. So good work, Belmont Shore.
Could take the lead with this conversion. Yeah, just as you're saying,
a second lead change, yeah. Colliding there a little bit. Nolan lines it up. Nolan. Through the post. Lead change. 6-3 Belmont. 25 minutes gone. We are going to stop for a hydration break for these players. Said it's in the 90s out there. Tough conditions for both these teams to play in. So they've decided to take these hydration breaks. So just a minute. Action will return. Anybody's game so far, Wendy?
Absolutely. I think just the difference there, the place kicking on the tee, and then the one try by the Bombers, but they had to work for it. Only time they've been down there, they've had a line out where they almost scored, and then the beautiful kick pass to actually score. But Belmont really making them work for it, especially with their tactical kicking that's gaining Belmont Shore so much territory. Wish we had a stat that we could count up all of the territory they've gained. It's got to be over 100 meters already.
I'm certain it would be. That it has been a very good kicking clinic so far from Nolan to keep him down there, put him in the position to force those penalties, to take those kicks for posts. So it's been very important for this Belmont team strategically. A lot of rugby IQ on this St. Louis side. I'm sure they'll start to work this out.
And we will look at that first try again. The Bombers and just the work from the scrum half, but then the centers to keep it going. And here, Felton really has to work for it, but keeps it alive. I just love the effort there. And then there, the volley on the inside of the foot to the big man himself, 6'5", Hammerschmidt, putting it down for the Bombers and that celebration.
He is a happy man right there, Hammerschmidt. Now just down by a point are St. Louis. It's going to be their restart. Having a chat with Khalil Harrison. Spannenberg, pardon me. Captain of this St. Louis Bombers team. Harrison gets time restarted. Felton. Scrub half gets us underway. Puts that one high just outside the 22. A little bit of room to run. Good footwork here from Belmont Shore. On the way towards the touchline, but St. Louis can't get over that. Right there from Bruce Young. Young gets that one back inside in the hands of Gerald Lowe. Belmont Shore. Will they go across field? This one, Nolan gets it in the middle of the field. Little steps here coming in from Matthew Massoud. Atticus Michaels. That's wide. Was it forward? Referee says yes. It's going to be a scrum to St. Louis, but some breakout play there from Belmont Shore. They can play 100 different ways, and they've shown a lot of them so far.
And this right here, just the forward pass, it just comes out of his hands forward. But it started with the pick from the base with Bruce Young, 5'11" out of Long Beach, California. It was his work at the base to get that initial break that got Belmont into that attack. So as you're saying, John, they're dangerous.
Yeah, they certainly are. A lot of different ways they can go. Breakout players, big power runners, speed on the wings, looking for catches, everybody. 1 point in it right now. 25 minutes gone in this first half. USA Club Rugby's Club National Championships has been brought to you all weekend on the Rugby Network. It's been a great set of games. Crowning champions everywhere. Off the left boot of Feeks. Ball takes an interesting bounce. It's all over the place. Tackle there on Munoz. Coming back around, Mike Griffin. Lots of dyed hair here on Belmont Shore. I'm having trouble figuring out who's who every now and again. Belmont outside their 22, able to gather this one. This one cannot go directly to touch, or it will come all the way back. That boot over Schuman's head. Schumann gets the ball across field to the safety of Feeks. Feeks runs one way, runs the other, keeps his feet, gets some velocity in there. Belmont able to gather here. Spannenberg in the distributor role. Little tip pass there. Big bump off tackle. Felton back into the general's role. Back now to Feeks to the left boot. Skews just a bit high. Taken by Munoz, almost on the run. Munoz feeds a little pass out there to Michaels. Michaels gets it out to the wing, nearly a line break. Derek Adams. Power they go. Again, that one, Vafuti takes it in, the loose head prop. Now they look a little wider through Massoud. Massoud wrestles that ball away, knocked forward, however, just pushed it a little too much. Outside of their 22, again deep in their own end. It's going to be a scrum here for the St. Louis Bombers.
And the kicking, both sides now getting in on it. Those 10s are so talented. We'll just take a look at Massoud's run again. Very physical, straight to the line, and that offload just trying to get it to his teammate. But as I was saying, the kicking is really the story here. The teams are putting both sides under pressure. But with Bombers kicking, they are being fielded well and then being returned, where when the Belmont Shore kicks, it's just making Bombers work out of their own end.
It looks like the center, Greg Robertson, is going to come off for a blood injury there. We have blood sub for the moment. Robertson, born in Aberdeen, Scotland, went to Lindenwood.
You can hear that crowd getting pumped up. The stands look very empty, but it's mostly because they are all sitting in the shade. There's a few people sitting on the edges, but it's quite warm if you're not in the shade there. But beautiful complex here in Round Rock.
It certainly has been a great host for this whole event, but you're right, heat is something else today. In the 90s. Replacement on the field for St. Louis. Nick Heckman. This will be a scrum here. Felton to put this one in. Will they try to draw another penalty down here, the Bombers? They will not on that one. Referee's going to call that one up. We'll set it down again.
And we've started to see the strength from the Bombers really showing that they can push this Belmont Shore team around even when it's on defense and attack. So on attack, they're using it to gain just a couple of meters, and then it drives that back line back a little bit too. They have to step back and make sure they're on sides. So we'll see if that tactic continues.
Ball at Spannenberg's feet. Pressure coming in from Belmont, but Felton's going to try to get away. Felton, little wraparound there, coming back in from Feeks. Player from Belmont trying to come in over that one and has poached. Well done. Advantage here to Belmont as well. Good opportunity for them. Felton has to make the tackle. All the players are around that other side is Micah Griffin. Griffin feeds the ball out there to Darnell Boone. Boone. Now to Griffin. A little wraparound there from Masoe. Masoe gets to the 22. Young. Gaining some meters, ball in hand. That one slipped, however, so it's an advantage here. We're going to come back to the penalty. For players coming in off their feet, I believe, at the ruck. Khalil Harrison awards that one.
And another choice here for Belmont. It's a kickable chance at another 3 points. And just extend that lead just a little bit and looking like, yep, that's the call. Make it 9-5. As we get closer to that halftime. As we mentioned, the heat is huge here, and taking another 3 points is never going to be a bad choice in my book.
Yes, certainly. Nolan, a very intelligent young player, knows that these points are so important. So put them up by 4.
We'll try to see if we can decipher what that penalty was for. Go out to this left side here. They look onsides there. Not much there. I think he was playing advantage for something that happened a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah, I think it was at that breakdown there. Nolan always has the distance. This time does not have the accuracy, so it will remain a 1-point game. First half in the later stages right now. Both teams absolutely game here. Felton, the 22 drop, rolls it. Ball into Michael's hands. Michaels tries to break through a gap there, nearly does. Gets hauled down by just the back of his shirt. Masoe into that distributor roll, gets a ball out there to Gerald Lowe. Gerald Lowe gets his feet to the ground. These players are gonna have to release for St. They do. Ball still coming on their momentum is Fee now. Ball picked up by Young. Young gets the ball out into the hands of Uyo. Referee spot something there as I just glanced away. Wendy, you caught it?
I think, yeah, another knock on there, and it's just the pressure from the Bombers. But again, the hooker Yoon doing the work. Watch him go quick from the base, beats the first, and look at this offload. It's just gorgeous to the winger coming off the edge, but here comes big hit. He's trying to offload. Just a little knock on is going to happen here, causing the issue there. But you can see the scrum half of Belmont really liking what he's seeing, but then the Bombers also cheering. Defensive pressure, a winner for them.
I'm loving Bruce Young. He just sees that little space around the ruck, and he is gone. That hooker is here to play.
Yeah, he's got 15 years of experience, including with Los Angeles and the MLR. So nothing bad there for him.
Pressure. Again against the Bombers in the scrum. The first couple were all theirs. Now they seem to be doing things just a little bit illegally. So penalty for Belmont Shore.
Yeah, and this is a big mistake there by the Bombers. Under pressure. Just trying to drive in from the side there. Just angle that scrum a little bit. And look who it is. That's our friend, ready to go.
Bruce Young is going to pass that one. And that little moves back around to Masoe. Masoe tried to power his way to the line, but the ball's here again. Will they send the big boys in? Right there, they try to send Low. He can't make it. Driven back again. Ball to base. Gonna go for another pick here. Trying to slip underneath, not there. Out to the backs they go. There's some runners out wide, but Nolan, after sliding a couple of kicks, is going to see the space and slot right in. A wonderful try there. Nolan, well-deserved territory from him. Pressure from the whole team allows Nolan into the try zone.
And this all comes from the scrum penalty. They decide to go quick. They don't go to the corner. It's still a choice to go for the points. They've kicked it a couple of times, and Nolan just missing, but now making up for that mistake. And a beautiful work here from that penalty. And then you can see just a couple phases later, and it's just a little show. And that defense just has their hips turned. They can't come back for that tackle. Sean Nolan touching it down and extending that lead for Belmont.
Nolan to convert his own try. It's just that you could see on that movement there, they had runners out wide. Nolan could have just put in a nice long pass. Somebody could have cantered in the corner, but he saw the defense kind of coming to cover it there, left him a little space, and he was right in as that one is good. So just before halftime, Belmont Shore extends their lead. So we have another look-see.
Yeah, and Nolan getting a little bit of Superman action going there for that try. He's done such a good job just being the conductor of their offense, their attack, and not to mention his kicking where it's pinning the Bombers back and they're just constantly having to work out of their own end. It's demoralizing to be constantly running backwards to go another line out in our own end. It's very difficult, and the Bombers have got to figure out how to cover the entire field because no one can put it anywhere.
13-5, Belmont Shore leads. The blood bin is back in. 2 minutes, 15 seconds of the game clock in this first half. Running like one of his big forwards, Atticus Michaels. Scrum half for Belmont Shore. Ball is stuck in there, no distributor, so Masoi's gonna step back. Look at a little tip pass, hangs onto it. Just ducking into that contact, and again, right through the middle, Gerald Lowe. Nolan. Get the ball to the wing. Munoz doesn't have much room to operate in there. Able to keep the ball in, however. Ball still alive. St. Louis trying to drive these players into touch. A little mess right there. Loud blast of the whistle. Players coming in on the angle from St. Louis. You can see it in that close-up shot, which is a little convoluted, but players just coming in from the side trying to drive them in. Another penalty here for Belmont Shore. Time winding down in the first half. Opportunity to go in with a bigger lead if they can put this downfield.
I'm going to take a long shot at this one. He's got the wind at his back, but he's on the side of the field at the 50 essentially. This is going to be probably a 55 attempt, but it winds the clock down. You might as well, if you get this at 16-5, you're basically going to halftime. And here's some of this excellent camera work from our team. You can see the fullback there taking it into contact, Munoz, and he works really hard to make sure everybody stays in bounds right there on the edge. Bombers trying to come through, but you can see they're not legal. Number 11 just coming all the way around. Can't do that.
Nolan looks to extend this lead before the half. Nolan pushes that one off to the right. .22 drop here for St. Louis. Felton getting his players where he wants them. We're at the 40-minute mark on the game clock. In referee's time. Half could end any moment. Belmont Shore. Possession. St. Louis pressures on. Was that knocked forward? A referee and assistant referee didn't spot it. So another opportunity until I said that, and they did notice. And that is going to be a halftime of the USA Club Rugby Club National Championship Division I Men's. 13-5, Belmont leads. We'll be back with second half action. Stay with us.
event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before you with hard work. And for those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
The moment you have all been waiting for has finally arrived. The first rugby game that allows you to play and get rewards is now live. Step into tournaments, be the ultimate manager, earn free jerseys and match tickets. It is the heart of rugby, now in digital glory. Build your strategy using real player cards. It's your game, your moves. Buy, trade, play, and create your lineup. For cards, your legacy. Experience rugby like never before. Take your fantasy rugby experience to the next level. Join Overlay.
There might be some dark days, and who have you relied on, and who's been sort of your support system to get you through those times?
For me, especially with this whole process, has been, talking to my loved ones and my close family.
Especially when I'm on the road, get a bit of homesickness, but fortunately with technology these days, I'm able to call the missus, call my parents, stay connected with the people who supported me through all my tough times.
When the times get toughest, those are the people that I turn to, and God is who I turn to, and I've been able to get strength from it.
Making sure you're managing your relationships, leaning on the people that you know you can lean on, it's been huge.
It's a really important thing for the players to know, to talk to someone, to open.
How brilliant is it in terms of having this teammate environment that obviously you go out there physically and try and dominate with each other, but then again, it's that sort of camaraderie that's so important to then having good mental well-being.
I think you build so many great friends throughout rugby that is like my safe place.
Your life is kind of like a stool. If you only have rugby and there's only one peg, it's easy to topple over.
Yeah.
But once you have multiple pegs, you have your family, you have a mental health lead, you have those resources, and you have more stability, you're not going to topple over. And that's something that I really take with me everywhere I go.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
It's here and it's right for you, the rugby fans. It is the Fantasy League game for Major League Rugby. The only exclusive Fantasy League game for Major League Rugby globally. Getting started is easy. Just log into the platform, head to the play section, and you're in the game. But there's an important step, connecting your wallet.
That's right. To collect player cards, you need to fund your wallet. Oval E offers various options like Ramp, Taurus, MetaMask, each with its own advantages. This process is just a straightforward way to buy in-game tokens, enhancing your gaming experience by allowing you to access different features and player cards within the game.
Once you're set up, explore the play section to see available tournaments. It's where all the action happens.
Looking for new cards? Head to the primary marketplace. And if you're into trading, the secondary marketplace is your playground to sell and swap cards.
Ooh, Oval E is not just a game, Corbs, it's a rugby community and an experience. Whether you're competing in tournaments or trading cards, there's something for every rugby fan.
Exactly. So log in, set up your wallet, and start your manager's journey in Oval E. It's easy, fun, and the rewards are just waiting for you.
Whey protein is my favorite product. Best part about it is I can have it straight after a workout or a training session.
My favorite product is vitamin D. Back in DC, we practice a lot indoors, especially in winter, don't get a lot of sunlight, so having some vitamin D is important. We select Thorn because we know it's tested and it's safe to use.
Folks, we are here to make the fast food business faster. Many times we don't really know what to order, but there is a part of your body that always does.
Introducing Taste ID. Taste ID will revolutionize the way that your consumers consume.
With just one generous lick. Oh, sorry. There we go. Taste ID will create and order exactly the combo you would like to eat.
And apologies, there's just the one prototype, so you'll just feel free to share.
How do you know our customers will like it?
Like it? They're gonna lick it.
Nice.
Go ahead, lick it, Bob. It has an antivirus. You gotta lick it to get the French fries, Bob.
Come on, where's the Bob we saw last night at the hotel bar?
Get a technology partner that knows your business and your consumers. Globant, technology that really dares to delight.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbacero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show.
From college rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby, MLR, and more, we've got you covered.
Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Come along for the ride as we bring you the Rugby Rundown.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America.
It's rugby time, America.
Credo Rugby is a development platform that helps rugby clubs create and sell their on-field, training, and supporters gear. We work with clubs of all sizes, from grassroots to professional, and help them generate revenue to support their continuous development. Attention all rugby fans. World Rugby Shop is your one-stop shop for all your rugby gear needs. Whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out, World Rugby Shop offers an extensive selection of top-quality gear and apparel to elevate your game. From jerseys and shorts to boots and accessories, we've got you covered. Visit us today to see why World Rugby Shop is your ultimate destination for everything rugby. Gear up today.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time for tradition. It's rugby time, America.
It's rugby time, America.
Welcome back to the Lone Star State, playing host to USA Club Rugby 2024 Club National Champions 15s. Belmont Shore leads the St. Louis Bombers. I am John Broker, joined for 40 more minutes by Wendy Young on color commentary in this tight matchup, 13-5. Wendy, really anybody's game.
It absolutely is, and we've seen the kicking has to be mentioned one more time of Sean Nolan. He has been so strong for this Belmont Shore side, and I did just receive a little bit of love from his brother James, saying that they're loving what we're doing here, the whole production at Next Level Rugby, and give a little shout out to the small place of south of Ireland of Waterford where they grew up. Nolan, you've got some love in the crowd watching you today.
James Nolan watching his brother, about to get us started here as we see Masoe, one of a couple on this team for Belmont Shore. Nolan gets Belmont underway, gets our second half underway. Belmont is in yellow and black and white is St. Louis. Just 8 points in it. Kicking game from Nolan, the difference so far. Feeks launches one up in the air. No stranger to strategic kicking himself. But that one lands in the hands of Nolan. Nolan, going up to Munoz. Munoz shapes to pass, but gets going forward. Masoe, same. Hangs on to it. Munoz up again at them. Very quick off the ground. Good work early here from this Belmont Shore team. Trying to rip it out of their hands is the St. Louis defense, but Belmont will keep that one. Fina spent 10 minutes off the field, but has been putting in the extra work. Little kick pass here. Will this come to hand? It slips over the top there. Khalil Harrison on the spot there. The ball comes back to Belmont. It's a tackle. Players from St. Louis have to release. How will the heat affect these teams in the second half? How will they use their reserve benches? Ball in here behind Finau. Nolan. Masoe just puts the hammer down. Can't quite get there. Spills the ball for his trouble. It's going to be a scrum. One of many in this game so far, Wendy, just outside the 22 for St. Louis.
We have seen where it's maybe so hot out there that the ball might just have a little bit of moisture on it, or it's because these teams are laying in the hits and knocking the ball out of these teams' hands. Get a shot of the Belmont Shore coaching staff there. Ray Egan just been the man at the front of the ship, and if you can hear any cheering below me, I think it's because Miami's just been awarded their men's D2 trophy. Congratulations to them. They are pumped.
Great work, Miami. I called their semifinal yesterday. Quite a talented team. Taking a look at Chris Scuman. Player gets attended here. So Wendy, you know, a tight game, a little differences in style, but both teams have a lot across the field. You know, what are these coaching staffs talking about at halftime to these teams?
Well, I imagine, you know, St. Louis Bombers now have the wind at their back, and so I think we're going to see them take advantage of that. And we've seen Feeks kicking with the wind in his face and still getting a bunch of ground. So I think they're going to take advantage of that. But I think Belmont Shore, we're going to see them do more of the same, just front forward ball and then kicking to try to keep the Bombers pinned.
First scrum of the second half comes together. Quickly in from Felton. From Spannenberg. Felton's going to use the boot this time. He's outside the 22. That one a bit of a mistake. It just sails in a touch through this hot, humid Austin air. We're going to come all the way back to the line out, about 30 meters out from the St. Louis line. Belmont, first real attacking opportunity of this second half.
Yeah, just a little bit too much juice on that one, but it's the right idea, not only to get them out of trouble, but to try to get Belmont to turn and have to chase. They spent the whole first half doing that, the Bombers, so now they want to try to get it turned around for Belmont.
Ball in there from Young. They get it up to the big fella, Va'afuti. He moves it out into the hands of Michaels. Little wraparound from Nolan. Flat pass to Munoz. Like the training yard there, but nearly taken away by Scuman. Knocked down by Scuman in the attempted intercept. Not a knockdown. Belmont.
Advantage over.
Advantage is over for that knock on. That one is going to turn into a penalty. The player knocked it forward into one of his teammates there. Unlucky, but definitely a penalty.
Yeah, that unlucky knock-on offsides. You just happen to be there and the ball flies towards you and you just catch it. Kind of that moment. You can see it here. Really good by Belmont Shore. There's lots of good ideas here. The 7, the flanker, he's pinned his defender and just looking to try to give it Yoon so he can try to do some magic himself, but just a little bit of a mishandle, a miscue there. And the Bombers, pretty good clearance, and they'll get their first attacking opportunity of the second half.
Yeah, right at halfway, good opportunity for them. St. Louis might want to think about just tying together a few more phases, trying to disorient this defense for the Belmont Shore team. Try came quick. Out to Feeks. Feeks has a runner in the midfield. D'Antoine McMillan. Handled there by Masoe. Felton going to go to the boot again. Look into that territory. As you said, they have the wind behind them now. But a second kick sails directly in a touch on the full. So it will be a Belmont line out where the ball was kicked, just inside the 50-meter line.
Maybe just a little bit overeager, knowing that the wind is at their back, and so they're putting a little bit too much on it. Again, it's the right idea. It's the right place to do it in the game and in where they are on the field, but the execution, they've got to solve this because now they're just doing it to themselves. They're putting themselves under immense amount of pressure here, and Belmont Shore is going to eat this up.
Ball in, over to the tail of the line out. Finau grabbed it, but it went forward there. So a scrum here for the St. Louis Bombers right at halfway. Minutes in the second half to wind up in the same place.
Sorry, John. And we have seen them have a bit of a drive at these scrums. They have been getting some distance and getting some separation, mostly getting the backs, having to have them push back. So it's a good spot for the Bombers to work from. They've got to make sure they maintain possession, maybe get a little drive on, and then use those backs.
Big scrum coming here from St. Louis. A penalty would do them some favors. They have a penalty advantage, so this is a free play. Feeks looking to move the ball around the back. Gets the ball to the try scorer, Hammerschmidt. Masoe pays some attention, but they're going to come back to the penalty. The Bombers.
Really well executed, that scrum there, just driving, and their cohesive unit, very strong. And you could hear Harrison just telling Belmont Shore, stay in there, don't pull up. So really starting to put the screws in on that scrum, and this could be a big kick here. They'll get the ball back on the line out as long as it goes out of bounds. But really good positive play from St. Louis.
Good distance. They're inside the 22. They've had a strong line-out maul earlier in the game. St. Louis Bombers options here. 6.5 minutes gone in this second half. No points yet in the second stanza. St. Louis would like to change that with this line-out. Ball up in the middle of Spannenberg. Ball is moving forward. They've got good separation between the front of the maul and that ball there. The back was Carradine. Still driving forward. They're good. They're going to take it to the ground. Young in the way there. Felton. Draw the penalty, but they're going to come up here into the hands of Davidson. Felton. Gets it to Blanche. Meets a couple of Belmont Shore defenders. Get that ball up quickly into the hands of one of their reserve forwards. I believe that was Liam Smith. Back the other way to the big fella, Corey Harmon. Takes a couple of key meters there. Ball comes back. Trying to dig it away is Belmont Shore, but ball alive again. Spannenberg nearly slips through. He had Triplanche to pass to. Decided to have it go himself. Felton. Ball for players. Liam Smith again. Felton. Go out to Feeks this time. Feeks looks one way, comes back. Ball in hand. They have an advantage here. I think a player is going to get another high tackle penalty. Referee whistles.
Hold the ball. Hold on. Get something to wrap. The other player steps back. Throw danger. You're just sticking with the penalty. Very careful.
If you're Finau there, Wendy, you don't want to argue your way into another card.
Cut back.
In this case, a little too much there. Referee's going to say, let's listen for a second.
Well, your player stepped.
It's just going to be a penalty here, Wendy, but that dangerous days.
Yeah, really panic call there because, as you said, Finau got a penalty. He had a card in the first half, and he doesn't really make contact. There's not a lot of force behind this. Sure, it hurts possibly, and you know Bombers want a penalty there or more. They want some color, but they're going to get a chance here. And this is big for the Bombers. For them to come out of here and score in the first and the second half would be big.
Changes coming in here. Looks like Finau is going to be replaced. Just a little too much danger there.
I mean, it's the end of the season, so he'd be, a red card sentence would be, a couple of weeks, but.
Masalina Masoi comes into the game, or Masoi in the 17 jersey.
Okay.
You see Finau.
The Bombers, we did see them in the first half and a couple of times there. Their maul can be very dangerous. See if they keep that tactic.
Ball up, Spannenberg has it. Ball at the back here. O'Donoghue's hands. O'Donoghue loves the short runs, but that one gets piled in. Has to take it himself. There's the line. Another advantage here for this St. Louis Bombers team. Free play. They're going to go to the boot again. Can this be a second one? There's some danger out there, but they're going to go back for that penalty. That would have been Derek Adams, well and gone. Save your energy, son. You're coming all the way back.
And these stadiums are deceptively loud. The fans all face in, and so it does get really loud. I've played out there. It's been a while, but I played in this stadium, and it's really hard to hear, so you can understand his confusion. He thought he was gone. See it again here. It's a good idea. It's like you said, John, free play. Might as well put it up. Needs to be a bit of a deeper kick there because you can see Adams able to just come up and snatch it out of the air. He doesn't have the height advantage, but I think he has the vertical. Got a little Air Jordan going on. He was gone to the races. Bombers will get another chance at this. The Maul did well. I would have almost liked to seen a penalty there. The Bombers, I think they took, Belmont Shore, I think they took that Maul down, so Harrison's going to keep a close eye on that.
We'll see what happens here. Most of their mauls have gone at least 5 meters before they come down, so opportunity. Just under 10 minutes gone in the second. Little miscue, but it gets the triple launch eventually. They've got the weak part of the ruck scrum back there. Lineup, pardon me, and all my terms mixed up at once. That ball goes to the ground. Looking for it is Harmon. Can Harmon get over? Ball's there on the line. A hot day. There's been an awful lot of this short ground game. St. Louis players are calling for this. The referee says it's time.
Time off. Hold on.
See that ball on the ground there, but referee is going to have a little chat here. We're lucky enough to be able to listen in, so let's do just that.
I saw a try, but no, not on. You agree with trying? I agree.
It is try awarded, 5 points to the Bombers. First points of this second half. This is the tension you want in a national championship matchup. Kick to come would put them 1 point away.
Thank you.
Huge score for the Bombers there. First in this second half. Puts the score just 3 points with the conversion to come. And I think that's Stefan Treblanc who scored that wearing the number 7. It's a little tough to see as it was definitely a forwards try. They were all there, all working hard. And again, it came from the lineout, the maul. This time it was sacked by Belmont Shore, but then they were able to get quick recycle and keep going. This kick, a big one.
Harmon has run his race, it looks like. 13 to 10, 10 minutes gone. Nicely struck. Well angled, it is 2. It is a 1 point game, 13 to 12. Belmont Shore over the St. Louis Bombers. Things are starting to heat up here in Austin.
You can see there Treblanc just holding, waiting for, he actually looked like he was waiting for the defender to get his weight forward, so he knew that when he picked, he'd be able to get underneath it. It was very smart play there. You can also try to get the offsides call, right? Get him to go early. Really smart play there by Treblanc to get that one in and keep the lead, or get them even closer. 1 point, just the difference in this men's Division I championship.
30 minutes to go. Referee Harrison just holding up, probably for a player change here.
Yeah, it looks like one of the wings of Belmont Shore was just receiving a bit of attention. He's back now.
High hanging kick for the Bombers to take, and they have done. Inside their 22, drive just over the line. So any kick here goes directly into touch. We'll show D'Antoine McMillan. Felton. Taking his time to go to the box kick there. Replacement Marcelino Masoi, the number 17, decides not to contest that one. And they hang that one. Out over the line. St. Louis seems to think it's theirs. Assistant referee agrees. A little mistake there from the wing on the Belmont Shore. Be a line out for the Bombers.
A beautiful box kick there. Now he's reined it in enough. And this one, just enough hang time to cause confusion. The scrum half not sure if the wing's going to go for it, if he's going to go for it, and spot on by the assistant referee to see that. And now big opportunity for the Bombers again. They've got all the momentum. Hey guys, you've got to be super quiet. The mic's picking.
Ball up there. It goes down to Belmont Shore. Belmont. Yun. Wisely doesn't make that pass. Yun goes to ground. Ball comes out there to Wishadell. Wishadell puts a little inside pass in, trying to regain the momentum here. Michaels. Stepping back inside. Ryan. Michaels. Dummy runner out. Trying to put the winger in there. Derek Adams. There's a little ground. Ball up there to Bartlett. Bartlett offloads. Belmont. Outside the 22. Putting together some phases here. They look to go wide quickly. That's Yun. Yun. Show the ball is going to hang on to that one. Michaels finds a replacement, Masoi. Penalty against Belmont this time. Illegal at that breakdown. The replacement, Akbar Usmanov, wearing number 18 for the St. Louis Bombers, forced that mistake.
And he's one of too many to count really quickly, all from Lindenwood University. They've played together, some of them at the same years, but if not at the same program. And look at this work that he's there. He assists the tackler down and then immediately on there for the poach. He's got good body position. They try to take him out. Just beautiful resilience there to get that steal and spoil a Belmont Shore really nice attack.
13 minutes gone now. Ball downfield. While we were looking at that replay, so it's going to be a line out for the Bombers again. Belmont Shore disrupted the last one. Right at their 40-meter line, looking a little longer. They get it to Terblanche. Big rumble here, but a player just breaks out of the front of it, so they have to take it to the ground. Does St. Louis. Felton going to go to the boot. That wind behind him, this one, a bit of a better angle. Inside the 22. Nolan's back there. Nolan can find some room, not as much as he normally might. A little bit forward here. It's going to be a line out for St. Louis. Feeks trying to keep everybody confused. Go to a steady line out. Probably a wiser choice to work off of.
As you said, John, Nolan trying to clear that and get as much distance as he can, and he's still got 40 meters, but when the wind was at his back, we were seeing 60, 70-meter kicks. So one of them went 22 to 22, so now Feeks taking advantage of that for the Bombers, and we're also seeing a bit more kicking from Felton at the scrum half position as well.
Blanche brings that down. They set the maul, but haven't gone forward yet, so Felton will release some runners. Feeks holds the ball and goes wide. Gets to Jabbar Leopold. Haven't seen a ton of Leopold. He gets some room. He is dangerous. He's marshaled that time by Micah Griffin. Feeks starting to rumble here with Carradine, putting the phases together. Haven't done a ton of multi-phase play. Big hit comes in there from Gerald Lowe. You got Feeks' number on that one, trying to reverse field. Felton. set. Moving to up the phase count are Lindenwood. Now they come off to this left-hand side. Little room there for Spannenberg. Marnus Spannenberg looking to get his hand free. Has to take that one to the ground. Inwards run there. Ball coming up to Weaver. Weaver. Antoine McMillan. McMillan. See the 22. Felton. Big bodies piling in now for the Bombers. Weaver again. Player down for Belmont. For Blanche. It's Young that's down, such a key player. A little pass back inside to Schooner. Ball went over to Belmont Shore. Belmont Shore has poached that one. Well done. After a lot of phases from this St. Louis team, ball back in the hands of the men in yellow. Michaels, pardon me. Little cross kick attempt there from Nolan. Nolan pushes it back, takes a little bit of an odd bounce there. Into touch, gonna wind up to be a St. Louis lineout. Looking to get Derek Adams free and couldn't.
And Adams takes that in hand. We might have a race on our hands. That kick just not quite what they were looking for there, but the right idea. There's lots of space out there. It keeps that back triangle back as well. They have to cover those kicks. As we can see, we're going to water break.
We're gonna step aside while they take a hydration break here. We'll be back with the rest of this final right after this.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbacero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show.
From college rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby, MLR, and more, we've got you covered.
Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Come along for the ride as we bring you the Rugby Rundown.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
Credo Rugby is a development platform that helps rugby clubs create and sell their on-field, training, and supporters gear. We work with clubs of all sizes, from grassroots to professional, and help them generate revenue to support their continuous development. Attention all rugby fans. World Rugby Shop is your one-stop shop for all your rugby gear needs. Whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out, World Rugby Shop offers an extensive selection of top-quality gear and apparel to elevate your game. From jerseys and shorts to boots and accessories, we've got you covered. Visit us today to see why World Rugby Shop is your ultimate destination for everything rugby. Gear up today.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time for tradition. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
We are back to line out here to the St. Louis Bombers. We are headed in to just about the final quarter of this nail biter. John Broker with Wendy Young on the Rugby Network, bringing you this exciting action all weekend. Culminates in this, the men's D1 championship. Bombers have worked their way back in, and they are down by one at the 22 of Belmont Shore. Belmont Shore has been able to resist every charge so far. Good turnovers, good patient defense. Felton fires that one out. They have some runners out here looking to get the ball wide. A little bit of a blood injury there. Harrison saw the knock on from Belmont. Maybe a scrum here for the St. Louis Bombers.
Just a tiny disruption there. It looked like it had some potential. Would almost like to see going back to that lazy runner. He did get out of the way of Felton, but he was in the path, and it changed what the Bombers did there. And then they just were under pressure from that point on. Maybe would like to go back and have that penalty But regardless, they're going to get a scrum, and they've worked really well on their scrum. It's been very powerful for them. The drive has been pushing Belmont Shore back. So this is not a bad spot for the Bombers to be in.
Placement props in here for St. Louis. See if it makes a difference. Use Monoff instead of Harmon. It does not. They continue to draw the penalties against Belmont Shore. The front row tiring out just a bit. Felt shapes to kick. They're going to push this down the corner.
And then we're going to see their other deadly set piece. I imagine we'll see a maul. They may change the technique of off the top. They might rock and roll it down, but they are going to their bread and butter, the set piece of the Bombers. The difference in the second half, this is where they've been putting themselves in the position to where they can strike it. This is a big one. They can take the lead.
Lead in the D1 championship game on offer here. You see Carradine comes in to tell Caleb O'Donoghue what they want in the lineout. Placement prop, use Monoff at the back. He's going to lift her Blanche. Trying to sack it, but coming around the back is Spannenberg. And Spannenberg is over, and the lead changes. And St. Louis Bombers are in on top over Belmont with about 21 minutes to go.
And it's a fantastic call like we just talked about. I was just speculating, would they vary it up? And they do. You can see they're going to go to the back. They fake the maul. You'll see it. They come down. Everybody comes around. They make it look like it. And then they just back up right away. Vandenberg, and he has the strength to get to the line. It's absolutely beautiful. Belmont was putting everybody in to defend the maul, so there was nobody there on the edge. It's just beautiful work there, and you can tell if they came over and said, let's do the other one that we do sometimes. Let's do the rock and roll and have it come down quick. So they take the lead with the conversion to come.
I'm very impressed and excited with both these teams, willing to have a go, willing to try different tactics, willing to do things, not playing conservatively in a national championship game, just changing up, throwing a little bit of different line out at them. Cross kicks coming from both number 10s, very exciting, and that one is good. So adding to the lead here for the St. Louis Bombers. We'll take another look at this try.
Just beautiful work there, and then he's got support from behind, pushing him in as well. And just have to touch that white line, and he does. You can just see Belmont Shore just losing a bit of momentum here in this second half.
And making some changes now is Belmont Shore. They need some fresh bodies out there in this 90-plus degree heat. Nolan to kick this one off. Nolan not able to get the kicking game going in the second half as he would like. High up in the air, knocked on off of the St. Louis player. Big run coming in here. That's Peter Seo Jr. Peter Seo Jr. shows Peter Seo Jr. rolling towards the skyline, and just like that, Belmont Shore scores a try on St. Louis. Peter Seo Jr. comes on the field, raises his hand, touches it down.
What an impact sub Peter Seo Jr. is. I mean, it doesn't hurt. He's a US Sevens resident camp player, so he is learning how to play sevens with the best of the best, and the kick here is absolutely fantastic, and it's just a little bit too much for the Bombers. They can't gather it in, and then watch Seo, right place, right time, and he's got the speed to back it up. Just fantastic, and the dummy to boot. Not held in the tackle here, so he's able to get back up there and just diving for the line. He does it with style.
Certainly does. We're in 1918. Let's take a look at Seo out there. The kick from a little bit of a tougher angle for Nolan here. Seo Jr. set his goal to make his mom and dad proud. I would say that try goes a long way to accomplishing that. Nolan lines it up. Nolan from the sideline. Hangs it high. Bounces off the post. And all of the unique things that can happen in rugby seem to happen in this game as we take a look at this Seo run.
You know, he's only 5'7", 160 pounds, but he's been playing for 16 years, California State University, Long Beach, and just the presence of mind to know he's not held in that tackle and feel the pressure on his back and still be able to touch that down. Just absolute professional there. could tell that his time at the USA Sevens camp with Mike Friday and co, little Perry Baker action there, doing well for him.
1 point in it for St. Louis. That misconversion keeps them in the lead. Kickoff bounces back to the try line. They're happy to run it. Belmont Shore. CO Jr. again makes a bit of room. Big pick and go. Driven back. Ball back to Nolan. Nolan pushes one downfield. Doesn't find touch on this one, so an opportunity. Preston Hammerschmidt. Haven't seen a ton of Hammerschmidt since that wonderful crossfield kick. Scored a try on D'Antoine McMillan. The hard work of the number 6 jersey. Big shot comes over there. Penalty coming. Illegally so. I'm surprised there might not be a little more than that. Bit dangerous.
Yeah, it's a new emphasis kind of on protecting the players at the ruck. You can't fly in recklessly like that. You know, he's coming from pretty far away and just coming through and clearing it out, and that's just dangerous there. That's where we're seeing players get injured in their neck and things like that. See, and in that case, I didn't even notice that it's the scrum half. So yeah, the scrum half gets a little bit of extra protection, so you can't pick them off like that.
The line out here for the St. Louis Bombers. St. Louis Bombers maul and work around the line out has been exceptional. A couple of them disrupted by Belmont Shore. Looks like they're going to put Darnell Boone in the air to try to take this. Boone can't get a hold of it, but is far on the outside hand there, so it's going to be an opportunity choice here, scrummer lineup for Belmont Shore.
And a couple of different replacements in for the Bombers, so you sometimes lose that continuity in the line. Maybe the jumpers aren't quite the right, you know, timing and everything. And this one, just the throw, and the wind's even at his back. So just hate to see that, where you see when before I could see them warming up, and he warmed up for a really long time getting his throw together. So just hate to see that one in a 1-point game where you're not going to get many points, obviously. And you want that line out to go to hand and have it be where they can play off of it.
Mason Kreider coming into the game for Boone for Belmont Shore. Belmont Shore has chosen the scrum, but remember, St. Louis has had a number of scrum penalties against this team, so they may try to get the push on here. I'm sure they are game for it. Drawing a penalty right now would be an amazing feat for the St. Louis team, so Belmont needs to hold steady. CO Jr. is the replacement scrum half. Ball in from CO Jr. They get that one away quick. To the middle of the field they go. Masoi, excuse me. They go wide, but he goes in behind Munoz. Munoz steps one. Munoz looking to step another, but eventually the defenders are going to converge. Trying to rip that ball away is St. Louis. Have they post? Have done. The referee penalizes. It is a St. Louis penalty. The 22 options here can go for post with the wind behind you, put it in the corner, take the scrum. Felton looks like he's going to go to the corner.
I like it. It's a good choice. It's intention. We want 5 points, maybe 7 if we can. Really smart by them. But Muniz almost gets away here. He beats one and then the cover tackle. But it's the work of the defense to get right over that. And look at that body position and the lift to boot. Big, big poach there by the Bombers.
More conservative on this one, so they're going to go to the maul. Make sure they bring that line out down and don't give away possession. Belmont Shore players creeping around. Ball to back there to Felton. Felton has to go to the ground. A little pop away there. Not going exactly the way they would like. Takes that one to the ground. Felton finds Feeks. Feeks puts it to the boot. Ball slips forward, but there was a penalty advantage there. So they'll come back.
Maybe a threat to go quick here. I think they might go back to the corner and just kind of repeat that line out and see if they can do it better.
This is some confidence they're putting in their set of forwards at the line out. Definitely want those 5 points. middle this time. Getting ahead of steam, rumbling forward. Is that taken down by Belmont Shore? Referee says no. Helton gets caught up. Drive for the line, Feeks trying to drive them over, and try awarded to St. Louis. We'll see who ultimately gets awarded this one. It could be Feeks himself. Try awarded. Not often you see the number 10 come in on the pick and go and score a try. But Nick Feeks rises to the occasion. Wonderful job. 5 more points. This game is on fire.
And you don't often see a fly half step in and do that, but Feeks getting it done for his side. A little dummy there. Gets them even closer, but it's here where you'll see gonna dig in there and then just get under, and it's just fabulous work there. The blue scrum cap, yeah, blue scrum cap, so we'll get you that number. It looks like Feeks was the one pushing him across the line. But beautiful work there for the Bombers to extend that lead. Critical time to score. It looks like it's replacement 21, Ayo Ajayalala.
Ball up. And it is good, extending their lead. Just 1 point above that converted try there. So this is a really big point differential there as we're at the 72-minute mark. About 8 minutes left on the game clock.
And the score at halftime was Belmont 13, Bombers 5. So they have dropped 21 points in this second half to take this lead. A fantastic achievement, and it's been through that set piece and their kicking game.
Getting rid of that one quickly is St. Louis, but they put it in a dangerous backfield. Cross comes Belmont Shore. So, hard runner with speed outside of him. Adams has to come in. CO Jr. Massoy. Little dummy runner. Illegal dummy runner. Penalty here for that obstruction from the illegal dummy runner. It is going to be a penalty for St. Louis. You would imagine now with the clock a bit on their side and just that 1 point cushion over a converted try, they'll take their time about pushing this downfield.
Oh, and that's well spotted by Harrison. You can see it right there. The prop coming across, just obstructing that tackler, would-be tackler. Bomber's gonna start to use this clock, start to wind it down.
Six and a half minutes remain on the game clock. National title on the line. St. Louis has a throw in at the line out. Change coming in here, George O'Sullivan.
Possible change in tactic again here. We saw them vary it up for that last try. A very dangerous maul. But lots of replacements in there. Look at all those extra numbers, new numbers.
To the front, Spannenberg. CO Jr. looked to come around that. Referee says, boys, you have to play this one. It's the ball out in the middle of the field. D'Antoine McMillan. Felton looking back towards his forwards. Gets the ball to Caleb O'Donoghue. The hooker looking to put in the full shift here. Felton. Little pop up there. Referee says, St. Louis, you're holding the player in. You need to play this one. CO Jr. trying to get a jump there, but has to go back again. A little bit of keep ball from St. Louis. Happy to just wind through the phases. Ball to O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue takes a couple of yellow jerseys with him. Ball squirts out. It's in Belmont's hands with a scrum advantage. CO Jr. pushes that one down. And they make something out of this. Ball's wide there. That is Derek Adams. Derek Adams steps inside. He's got one to beat. Hands off Feeks. Puts that one up in the air. Player on the ground. Try awarded. That is Micah Griffin. and it is a kick to come, would put them 1 point behind. What an exciting finish we have coming up. Belmont Shore, just like that.
And it's what we've been waiting for this entire second half. We had lots of electric runs like that in the first half. And finally now Adams in space is the difference maker. And that pass to Griffin made my heart flutter. I was nervous about that. But this is just beautiful work here. The pin, look at that. All the defenders gone. And now it's just Adams' speed. Could get around the fullback and the change, the footwork there and the fend. And then this here, oh gosh, Griffin gets it down though. This is just spectacular by Belmont.
Certainly wonderful, wonderful work there. Micah Griffin went to Georgetown University, now playing with Belmont Shore, and that one is good. We're at a 1 point game. St. Louis up by 1, less than 5 minutes on the game clock. 4
That's how
minutes on the
quickly
game
it can
clock to be
change.
exact.
And that's how quickly it can change. We were just kind of saying Bombers are 4 minutes away from a championship, but this right here, it's Griffin on the pass there, and then there it's Nolan, beautiful pin. And again, Adams is just lightning. Footwork right there. If your coach doesn't have you doing footwork like that, that's why you need it. And then just the calmness there of Griffin to see the ball into his own hands and touch it down. Beautiful work by Belmont Shore to get them 1 point away.
See, they can run from distance, Belmont Shore. They're going to put the power in right there to get across their 22. Retrieve the restart from St. Louis. Belmont Shore. Young can't find room that time. Such a joy to watch play today, Young. Now they come a little wide. They're covered. So they can make the big break. Trying to make it right there. It's back to Masoe. Masoe is across halfway. He gets it to CO Jr. We've seen what he can do already. He makes 2 players nearly collide. Puts the ball up. Did it go forward? It did. Unlucky, but daring from this Belmont Shore team. 2.5 minutes to go. It's going to be a scrum for the St. Louis Bombers.
And they are just playing with some fire right now. It's beautiful work by the backs. It's just hands. And it puts Adam, and it's his individual effort again to get through the line. But the offload to Masoe, look at the step there. He knows the tackle's coming. And then CO Jr., he almost gets through here. Look at that. Beautiful work. And just the offload, he holds it as long as he can. And Belmont is surrounding and trying to get to him to help him. And that point, would have liked to see him just go to deck so they could keep going.
A few more St. Louis fans here. You can hear them chanting Bombers. This is a massive scrum. Held steady, but pressure coming in from Belmont. Can't muck around, have to use this. Nick Feeks launches it downfield, gets distance on that one. Ball rolling towards touch. Back there for Munoz. Munoz, did he kick it into touch? No. Munoz at his own 5-meter line. Has a little room to run, elusive. Gets that ball out, it just slips over the head. Slanguya. So it's going to be a scrum for St. Louis. 1.5 minutes in the game clock. Time ticking away. Every second that ticks off the clock is a friend to St. Louis and a foe to Belmont Shore. We are in for a finish.
And that kick, another big one. 50-plus meters for sure. And then the little dribble by Munez. He's so lucky to keep it in bounds, and I thought they might have something magical happening. But yeah, Bombers here, they're going to use every second of this clock that they can. Harrison, of course, is aware of that and telling them to speed up, but they are on the cusp.
Do not want a scrum penalty to either side here. See Micah Griffin. What a game from the former Hoya. Off the back to Spannenberg. Spannenberg evades 1, evades 2. Spannenberg gets ahead of steam there. Slanguyo has to take him down eventually. Ball back there to Feeks. Feeks into touch. Takes a little shot for his troubles. Player's a bit bothered, but the whistle goes, and your 2024 Club Division I champions are the St. Louis Bombers. What a game this has been. Well-deserved for both teams, but the Bombers are your champions.
Just, a fantastic effort in the second half to correct a few mistakes that they had in the first half. A win at their back definitely helped in the kicking game, was the difference maker here. But then it was the mauls and the scrums where they controlled everything. The Bombers scoring often in the second half and winning this one by 1 point. Their team will be so proud of that effort. Have to feel for Belmont Shore, where they led at the half and just couldn't get it together in the second half.
Yeah, you can see the heartbreak there for this Belmont Shore team. I know it hurts, but it's everything to be proud of. They have put on quite a season and quite an effort there today. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner, but Belmont Shore has really shown again what a class and talented organization they have out in the greater Los Angeles area.
You know, and it's Belmont Shore's 50th anniversary, so second place is not what they wanted, but what an effort by that side. Their kicking in the first half was wonderful, and Peter Seo coming in as that impact sub. He had such an impact for Belmont Shore, so he should be proud of that effort and his ability to kind of lift his side. And they came so close to snatching this one away.
From a good rugby family, Peter Seo, keep that name in your mind. You're going to hear Peter Seo Jr. quite a bit. As you see the teams shaking hands here, we'll have the trophy presentation, do some interviews. You see Masoe right there, the number 12, has been a tremendous warrior for this Belmont Shore team. Take a look back at a couple of highlights from the game.
And here we see Belmont Shore, just really big carry there by the scrum half. And of course, a couple of phases later, big hits coming in from the Bombers. And this try here was one for the record books. The kick all the way out to the winger on the edge. Hammerschmidt touching that one down and loving it. That was just the start for the Bombers. And then it was a lot of action from Belmont Shore. A penalty goal there, a try here. Now again, and it's Nolan doing it himself. This one put them up at the half, but then the Bombers came back, and it started here off of the maul. And again, we're going to see a couple of these from the maul. They're just beautiful work, and they varied it up. They changed what they did. It was so hard to defend. This one, you see Peter Seo Jr. just come out of nowhere and just take something from nothing and make it amazing. Not held in the tackle, and he's up. Look at the athleticism and the Superman dive to boot. This was the beginning of the comeback, but then Bombers here. This was the difference maker.
All right, those are the highlights. Thank you, Wendy. We are going to throw down to Tyler Deutsch near the championship trophy presentation. Tyler, take it away.
Whew. What an absolutely thrilling D1 final. And Andrew, you are here to announce the award ceremony for the National D1 Final.
Thank you. This is Andrew King, Chair of the 15s Competitions Committee for Senior Club Rugby. Belmont. We were just treated to an amazing game between St. Louis Bombers and Belmont Shore. Belmont, we wanted to thank you for an amazing performance yesterday and today. Real nail biter, great season from you guys. Present you with the National Championship runner-up for Men's Division 1. Thank you. And now, to present the award for Most Valuable Player for Men's Division 1 National Championship, number 8, MJ. And now I have the great pleasure to present the Men's Division 1 National Championship Trophy to the St. Louis Bombers.
And there you have it. St. Louis Bombers are your champions. What a weekend of rugby it has been here in Round Rock, Texas. A lot of thank yous to go out here. And that is it for us. It's been a great weekend of rugby. We've crowned champions in men's and women's D3, D2, and D1. and you are looking at your St. Louis Bombers, who have won it all. Thank you so much. Thank you first to everybody at the Round Rock Multipurpose Complex, USA Club Rugby, Andrew King, Dave McPhail, everybody that's been working this hard weekend. I'm forgetting a few names there. Our referees, great referee corps this weekend, bringing it home, keeping it fair, making it safe. We have our next level rugby crew. We have our cameramen and camera women. We have our field producers, Jeff Steele and Ryan Walker. We have our producers, Aviana Mateo, Grant Harrison, our directors, Nick Krisick, and the man with the rugby plan, Ryan Ginty, heading it all up. For our announcing crew, Tyler Doige on the sideline, Tim Sigmund, Tim Wilkes, Lance Kavanaugh, Darian Lovelace, and from Wendy Young, this is John Broker. We've enjoyed the weekend. We hope you have too. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned.
No, it's not. We're back. We're back.